Vladimirski. Ryan Weir is half the man he used to be, thankfully.
All right, we're back with the TVT News podcast. Today, our special guest, Carlo Carciotto.
That's
Did I butcher it? Did I get it correct?
My high school principal, when they had to announce my name to get my degree, diploma, they literally announced it. Carlo, and my family from Italy came. Carciotto. Can you imagine my family from Sicily coming thousands of miles to hear their grandson and nephew's name be butchered? So yes, you did very well, Roman.
Carlo Carciotto.
Owner
of Casa Della Mozzarella.
Let me make sure I got his name right. Ryan, yes, you did that very well. You did it very well, Ryan.
Thanks. I tried.
Excellent. Ryan did well.
I've been practicing.
Ryan did very well.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well, Ryan.
So, owner of Casa Della Mozzarella in the Bronx, Arthur Avenue.
The real literally of
It's a
New York.
staple. It's a staple in this neighborhood.
I appreciate it.
I'm just gonna rattle off a few things about the deli.
Go ahead.
2022 #1 deli from Google. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Best of Yelp 2022.
Correct.
Right? As well as Yelp's top places to eat.
Correct.
2022.
Correct.
Okay. You were featured in many news segments as recently as last week.
As recently as 5 minutes ago, we're live on CBS News.
And I believe that on CBS News they said that you should be the face of Welcome to New York.
We're going to put up a poll. That is what's been confirmed to me literally through 5 different group chats right now. So yes, that was live and said on air on CBS News.
So before we get into the history of the deli and how it started, how does that make you feel that you guys have been recognized by so many people and that they're saying you should be the face of Welcome to New York? That's a big deal.
So I guess I'll start from the back line.
Let's do it.
My father came here as the typical American dream, and he didn't come here to be the American dream. He came here because my mother said, "You want to marry me, you have to move to New York," and that's the way it happened. And that's what happened. So to know that my father is this American success story, literally is, if you looked up what the American dream is, it would be Orazio Carciotto from start of 1993 to right now. So for them to say that about me in coincidence right before we're airing on this is pretty surreal, because it's the whole main objective was, how do I do like my father? How do I it's almost like you got to compete with him. It's almost like, and to say, have one as the American dream and now me as being told to be the voice of New York, it's pretty cool that we're in that similar category. Because I always say to myself, if I can only be half of my father, I'd be proud of myself.
Do you feel the pressure keeping the legacy?
Oh yeah, so I tell it all the time to everybody.
Yeah.
A lot of people in high school. So I went to Salesian High School in New Rochelle, and I graduated from Concordia College, and I went for my bachelor's in marketing and management, and then I got my master's in international management. And I tell people all the time that when a lot of people would always say to me, especially my classmates in college, they would say, "It's you got it. You're made. You're gonna make this and that. You're gonna the easy way out." And there is that vibe of sometimes I get where people come from. They see Casa Della Mozzarella, the staple, all the things you just heard off, best deli, and there was many things you didn't read off. James Beard Award, Action Bronson on Fuck That's Delicious 3 times we've been on. I mean, that's a feat. Action Bronson's become my friend. I've been on Bobby Flay's show, been on Chaz Palminteri, Eater, The Insider. I have reels that have 3 million views. I don't know how, but they do. So there is pressure, and I always compare it to it's like Michael Jordan, LeBron James. We'll use LeBron James, right? So he has his son Bronny coming into the league, right? Bronny, people probably say Bronny's got and I'm not even a LeBron James fan. I respect him. Imagine someone like Bronny, they're yo, he's LeBron's son, but there's so much pressure because, yes, maybe he isn't the greatest in that group of 20, 25 prospects. Has it helped him a little bit that he's LeBron James' son? Of course it did.
Yeah.
Has it helped me that my father has Casa Della Mozzarella? And yes, but there's a big, big, big shadow you're chasing because he's got to follow his father. 4 rings, most points in the league. And similar to me now. I have to follow a man. And what I've tried to do, when I was 14 years old and when I was in Salesian, my father was on Cooking with Bobby Flay. I never forget, I watched it. And I was like, wow. One day I'm gonna do this. Right? And my mom and dad didn't want me to take anything to the store. They wanted me to be the typical corporate American suit and tie. And we'll get into that later. And I'd like to actually really speak on that because I feel that a lot of people get caught up. Nothing wrong with working for J.P. Morgan and being corporate America, but there's a lot more out there, as you know, as a business, all right?
Sure.
Yes, there is a lot of pressure, and there is a lot to match up to. But I think when I saw that show, I said I was going to do it one day. I never envisioned I was going to do it side by side with my father. So doing like Fuck That's Delicious with Action Bronson in studio with Lydia Bastiano, who's one of the greatest chefs in the world, in Vice Network studio. I mean, it was surreal to be on Bobby Flay with my father. Was surreal after that. To
That's
all
just
these
awesome.
different things, Insider.
That's crazy.
To CBS This Morning. I mean, and even to something like this. Like, no matter how big or small, I always give everybody a chance. So let's say, Roman, for example, like this podcast you just started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give or take.
Yep.
Let's say I said to myself, why come here right now, right? Because it's not CBS or it's, but you know why? Because
It's
people,
TVT.
it's people, true, but people came to me
Yeah.
and they gave me a chance. It was these 3 guys. That's how it all started. All this YouTube, everything you read off the Yelp, because this is all social media platforms, right?
Yep.
3 guys. They're called the Nowhere Men. They had a show on Food Network, and it went out. And they decided that when they got kicked off the air, they took all their savings together, and they started this podcast, just like what you have set up here. A couple of podcasts, no studio, and they went from place to place to interview. They took all their money together, and they bought the cameras, the best they can do. So I had just graduated from my master's degree,
Mm-hmm.
and I had told my father that this is what I wanted to do. I'm going to take the store, and he said, "Deal's a deal. I've told you that if you went back to get your master's degree, I'd give you the store." And that's what I did. So when these men came in, they filmed us, and I never forget, we got like 5,000 views on YouTube. And I was like, wow, right? 5,000 views on YouTube.
That sounds big.
Sounds big. I don't
Yeah.
know, right? Like crazy. Then 12,000. Next thing you know, I get a phone call from the Eater,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to come film. Okay, and the Eater came and filmed. Next thing you knew, 300,000 views,
That's
500,000.
That's a
views.
big number.
That's sick.
All of a sudden, First We Feast, which is Complex, they filmed. They wanted me. I said, yes. I don't know if Complex got the right number. I mean, I don't know what I have to do with the culture of Complex of making fresh mozzarella. I appreciate it though. It's great, but you know, and that was the big one. That was the First We Feast. That one is the one that made me win the James Beard Award. It's basically an 8-minute segment of me and my father's story, me explaining to it and preaching on it. And that was the one that got about like 8 million views on each and all platforms combined. And that's when and then we won a James Beard Award, which to put in reference is like winning the Oscars, but for food. We're talking about Ramsay won it.
Yeah.
There's multiple chefs on Arthur area that they congratulated me because they never won that. And the fact that me and my father won that. So, yes, tagged into this whole web of things that we just explained, there is a lot of pressure to always keep going. Like Insider, Eater, Action Bronson again, CBS, Why Not You Media, the Romans podcast, whatever's next to behold. There's always a lot of pressure because it's always like, how much more can I break the glass ceiling? But what's almost too much? Because without overworking yourself. Because at the end of the day, the product is the main thing. So the product is what I need to be focused on. Sometimes the social media takes away from the product. Yes, it shows the product, and it does phenomenal with that. But sometimes I have to remember that the store comes first. So it's a lot of balancing. I think that's a good thing that a lot of newcomers, like anyone from the mid-20s to, or even older, new business owner has to work. They have to also know how to utilize social media, but also remember that social media, as important as it is, it's definitely probably one of the biggest things. It's been my joy. It's made me really love the store. But also you have to remember that social media, without the product being perfect, the social media means nothing.
So that's a good segue. So how do you focus on social media, the marketing, being on all these news platforms, being interviewed by all these magazines, but how do you not get away from the allure, the reputation that Casa Della Mozzarella created through the 90s and early 2000s, and how do you take that into now without, like you said, damaging the product?
So obviously with my father still being like the president of operations and me the vice president, it's a little easier because my father is not really he's into it. He's gotten used to it now and he likes it.
Because he'll fuck you up if you mess something up.
He will fucking deck my fucking lights out. We'll say he'll just spark off. He would fuck me up, yeah. For me right now, it's a little easier because I have my father he could focus on that and I could focus on the social media. It's like what I say with a friend of ours. A lot of different social media agencies have reached out to me. A bunch. Whether they're scam ones and then legit ones I know, people personally, right?
Why not you media?
Why not media? One, of course, Tony. I know Tony's and my godson Michael, they've been begging me. But, I did go to school for this, and I would like to at least use it. And for what I do with just this phone, literally, this is what I use. Everything you see, the reels that get 5 million views or 300,000 views, is literally this, and sometimes some mashups like on the iPad that they have all these different creations that you can make the iMovie, all that stuff. That's all I use. So for me, and it's still challenging. That day will come very, very soon where I will have to, I don't want to say that.
Outsource.
I will have to maybe use a company like Why Not Media, Why Not You, or maybe Why Not You, depending how Tony and my godson.
You got to get a good price.
I got to get a good price. That's all. Yeah. I mean, we got a couple fucking buck and genie to give them. Not they can fucking.
Boca what?
A couple buck. What'd you say?
Boca what?
Buck and genie.
Buck and
means
genie.
mouth. You know how to use your mouth?
Huh.
We'll see when we eat the cheese.
What's your name again? Oh, right. Okay. By the way, I just want to go for the record here that after all the beautiful words that Roman said about me, Roman, you've said so many nice things.
I try.
I just don't understand why my name, it doesn't say special guest, James Beard Award winner, owner of Casa Mozzarella. I mean, we could just put you all the way, like swipe you down there. Ryan,
well, I think we're going to save that for when I'm on the Casa Della Mutz podcast.
Oh, sure. Well, we're going to work on that.
We are?
Yeah, I think that'd be the next step. That'd be really cool.
This is being recorded for quality purposes, so you're going to have to do it for real.
Absolutely. So I guess to answer your last question, well, not your last, your most recent question. Yeah, it's challenging. My father makes it easier. So when he's gone from the store, then I might have to obviously out-resource and use different things. But also I'd like to have a say in these things because, a lot of people that do these things, they don't know much about it. Right. Like I said, I went to school with it, and not just I went to school for it. Doing this now the last 4 or 5 years, I've learned things just from working with people in the Eater or the Food Network or a lot of these food bloggers. I got to give them respect. A lot of my views, like I just did something with, they're called the Consuming Couple. They're fantastic. They're a great couple in Brooklyn or Queens. I apologize. We did a crawl on Arthur Avenue, literally from 11 to 4. It was great. We had a great time. It got, I think, about 800,000 views on a 1 minute Instagram reel, and then also the 100,000 on TikTok. That is incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
absolutely,
yes. The next thing to do the dream would be I'd like to have a show, and I'll tell you how that was inspired by.
Me.
You. This guy's fucking nuts. You sure there's no narcotics in this fucking place? Are you absolutely positive? Because this guy's fucking lost his fucking mind. I'm already pissed off there's no fucking name on this fucking thing. But yes, sure. When I filmed the first time with Action Bronson, so he's got 2 shows. Fuck That's Delicious, which is when he comes into your store.
Okay.
And this one year he did It was fucked out. It's delicious, but it was. You went to Vice. He went to the Vice Studios in Brooklyn, and I think he did it for like a whole season. He had every time he had a specialty chef, a famous actor / rapper. So one time there was like 50 Cent. I was like, oh shit, I'm hyped. I wanted to be with 50. I wanted to be with Jadakiss. I got Lydia Bashara, which I love you, Lydia. So don't be insulted. And some guy from Broadway, which is a big Broadway show. We were done filming, me and Action, and we started to film. And Action was like, everyone was doing their makeup and stuff. My dad's got this long, luscious, curly hair. Guys were putting spray. My dad was like, don't touch my fucking hair. He said it to himself, like, motherfucker. Like, wow, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, Action walks in now. Blunt and all. I'm like, fuck. Oh my God, my father is gonna fucking see this guy smoking this fucking joint. I explained to my father, I said, Dad, Baba, it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be phenomenal. You don't understand what it's gonna do for us. Not that we need any more, but this is gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I just want you to know, like, he smokes, and he's gonna smoke on air. Okay? Literally. So Action comes in, and he's got the joint, he's got a blunt right in his hand. No one's got a fucking lighter. Like, first I'm thinking to myself, first thing that comes to my mind is like, motherfucker, this is Action Bronson. None of you motherfucking producers have a fucking lighter for Action Bronson. Motherfucker smokes 2 joints before he came in here already. No lighter in sight. My father, like an asshole, he's trying to reach for a lighter because he smokes. My father smokes cigarettes. So we're boiling the water for the mozzarella, and Action just says, he tells me to move over for a second. First, he daps me up.
I know exactly where this is going.
And he literally Action, like this. Boss, come here. I swear to God, I could not believe this guy, Action Bronson, hugged my father. It's actually in the video. Grabbed the back of his hair and put his hands through his hair and said it was an honor to meet my father. My father didn't know who the fuck Action Bronson was, so he said that. So my father goes, in his mind, I know when he said that's a fucking honor to meet me. Like in my mind, like, oh, shut the fuck up, this is Action Bronson. It's a fucking honor. You should get on your fucking knees as we speak. And we filmed, we had a great fucking show. And even at that time, the producers, like, they gave me like a whole headset. They're like, take charge. And I've always had a comfortability for doing this. I don't know how. I don't know. I guess
I've never, imagine how.
I've never been camera shy, really. Honestly, even like people get nervous to present in college, like in front of 30, 40 people. I would live for that shit. Yeah. I just live for it, And actually, at the end of the show, he literally just came up to me. He said, "I think you'd fucking kill it on TV with your own show." And I explained to him what I'd like to do. And he loved the idea, and he said he was the first one to tell me. He's like, "You fucking kill it."
So we're breaking news right here. You're gonna have your own show or podcast.
The goal, the dream. So it's kind of like when you're in high school, right? And they ask you what's your dream school, your safety school, in the middle school, right? So I have things like that are on my agenda. I also just want to say one thing as well, if you don't mind. Special shout out to Iona College. Just want you to know, if you're looking at me, whoever was the director of admissions, I applied to Iona College. Fast track, everything. I just wanted to go to Iona. Basically, I don't know how they do it now. At that time was, if you applied early, if you got in, you were there. That's the school you were going to. You had like no choice. I wanted to go to Iona. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to dorm. My parents, I'm an only child. Like my dad was like, I'd love you to stay home, do what you want. I had some offers for soccer. I played soccer from St. Pete's and stuff. But I really wanted to go to Iona. And Salesian was so affiliated with Iona because they share the same baseball field. So I applied to Iona College. They put me on the waiting list. Now, I just want you to understand, I had an 87 GPA. By then it was numbers. I don't know how they do it now, right? I had 87.5. I never forget the number. SATs were garbage. Not gonna lie to you. Like 1100. Nothing.
Like most people.
Nothing to brag about. Now, they had an interview with me to come in, and they asked me, why do I want to go to Iona College? Why here? I said, it's It's a family school. You're not known here by your social number. And this is when Iona College was even smaller. We're going back now, 2000. Yeah, I didn't want to say 2014, right? And they literally, I told them it's a family school, and I see this is the place for me, that where I'm going to take everything I've learned from high school and in this college, and I'm going to make it someplace, and I'm going to make you guys proud that I'm going to be an alumni here. Roman, if I was taught to you, you would say you look at the script, you'd say
Done.
85, right?
Done.
They denied me. So to Iona College, Concordia College accepted me. I had the great 4 years there.
So now in every
Right.
article written about you, Concordia College gets a mention. Because
Sure,
you're an alumni.
absolutely. Concordia College.
And that's a plug for them.
Yes, and Concordia College.
And that could have been Iona, but it wasn't.
And Concordia College is closed now, unfortunately.
That's okay.
They closed.
That's okay.
COVID. They were a small private college. We only had like 800 kids in there. Great 4 years, great teachers. Same teachers of Iona. That's
Okay.
that's the best part.
Yeah.
The same teachers in Concordia taught in Iona. I have a feeling somebody in this room is from Iona.
No.
Not me.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
good, thank God. Not that I give a shit anyway.
So before we get into the food here that's
Go ahead.
displayed very nicely,
Go ahead.
I want to tell a quick story.
Go ahead.
And so I don't know if you've looked at our Instagram accounts. Like my stuff gets 2,000 views, 3,000 views, maybe 5,000 views on a good day.
Oh boy.
That's still good.
Right?
Here we go.
And about a month ago, Ryan and I went to your store. You were off that day. You weren't there.
Okay.
We ordered a casa. We
Okay.
got a bunch of other
Yes,
stuff.
the day you texted me, remember
Yep.
this? Okay.
And I made a small video, about a minute long.
Okay.
Pieced it together of Ryan's first time on Arthur Avenue, first time at Casa Della Mozzarella. We went to Madonia. We got bread.
How was it, Ryan? Excellent.
It was like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. So
Actually, I
and
think
then,
that's how you described it. I think that's how you described it through text. Okay.
And then I made the cover of the video was this, right?
Cause yes.
16,500 views because I tagged your store and because it was about your store.
Oh, 16.
Views. And for me, that's a big deal. That's a large
No,
number.
but I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, so, yes, I do get a lot, but like the average reel, I would say gets like between like 20 and 30,000. Because it all depends it also depends who you merge with. I mean, or collab with.
Yeah.
So
But I didn't collab with you. I just tagged
no,
you.
that's a big
But-
fucking jump.
And if you watch the video, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just
Oh yes,
funny.
I also, you know what? I will tell you what helped. Not to take anything away from you.
No, I know what helped.
Because I think you had tagged me.
Yes.
I had reposted. So now you have to understand you have 40,000 people.
You see?
And
That's-
I got something better for you. I had tagged Bronx through Italy, which is the run who runs the Arthur Avenue page, and they have about 500,000 viewers, subscribers.
That's helpful.
And they definitely. So I'm not to take you off your thing.
No, but I
what
was
you
saying
did was perfect.
but
You
it's a
tagged
testament
me,
to you.
yes.
Is my point.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah,
That was the point.
It's very hard. It's very hard, but yeah, it's very easy. It's like an in between. But I appreciate that, Roman.
I appreciate you. I really do. And
So
I
mean-
appreciate
so
what
wait,
we're
wait,
about to
I just-
experience right
I just
now.
want to know one thing.
What?
You just pounded me. We're
Yes.
not going to do like handshake. Like we're not
Whatever you wanna do.
that fucking ever.
Hold on.
I'm not going to get political. You want me to get political on this fucking thing?
No.
No, so we're not going to
No.
get political.
We're not going to get political.
Okay.
No. All right. Let's see. What do you got for us?
All right.
We're going to eat.
Let's see. So, we brought the Casa, which is the staple sandwich, right? Which is
Staple sandwich.
literally, when I made that sandwich up, I thought about bringing the most popular things that we sell in the store
Okay.
into a sandwich.
Okay.
It is the most delicious sandwich, by the way.
I
In the
appreciate
world.
it.
Yeah.
So what makes it so delicious is there's a lot of different flavors. Not a lot of different flavors. Like, they all mesh perfectly, right? So let's start with the mozzarella. The mozzarella is creamy, it's milky, and it's a little salty, right? Then you got the sun-dried peppers that give it a little sweet. And then you got the balsamic glaze. So those are the biggest, prosciutto is the biggest thing, mozzarella, and so is the sun-dried peppers. That's like the sandwich. And then that is our staple, which is basically mozzarella, but in bocconcini format. Bocconcini means bite-sized in Italian. And the best way I can compare is a cheeseburger and a slider. Same exact taste, just two different ways to eat it. Those are bite-sized and easier.
Wait,
So-
this isn't Swiss cheese?
It's not Swiss cheese. Let me see your name again. Ryan, it's not Swiss cheese.
Oh, damn.
That is a jerk off statement. I have insulted. It's like,
Eric?
Let me see what he's wearing. What kind of hat is that? What does it say?
It's a Happy Gilmore hat.
Just tap into where? Where are they tapping into? Where are they tapping?
You never seen Happy Gilmore?
Never in my life.
Oh, boy.
What?
We'll talk about that off the air.
Sorry.
Um,
Never watched the also another thing, never watched The Godfather. Not one episode.
that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life, especially coming from Carlo Carciotto.
Neither has my father. My father has, because I was taught when I was younger, and I always say I was going to watch. I'll make this really quick. I always said I was going to watch it, and I want to watch it.
Yeah.
It was just a bad stigma to Sicilians that they make us look that we're just mafia. And my father never made me watch it. It wasn't like it was against the rules. He had talked so badly about it that I never watched it. So
Interesting.
I have never watched one episode, don't know one character's name, but I've always promised myself when I do have the time, I will watch it. But I've
breaking
never
news.
watched it because it gave a bad stigma to Sicilians, that we are just people in the mafia. And unfortunately, that stigma still stands to this day. And it's
Interesting.
a bitter thing.
Interesting.
So that's a fun fact for you.
As we're about to eat the sandwiches and the cheese, I have one final question.
Go ahead. Shoot for it.
If you can give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I've been on the multiple platforms we've said, right?
Yeah.
No one's ever asked me that question.
Good. So I'm going to get an
That
honest
is-
answer.
Please repeat it.
If you can give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be? Your younger self at any age, whatever you think is important.
Don't listen to anyone besides yourself. Trust you and only you. Don't worry about what everyone's going to say, because at the end of the day, everyone's going to speak, no matter how high you go and no matter how low you go and no matter how much you stay in the middle. If you just listen to yourself, and I will add one more aspect, maybe have some inspiration from the people that are very, very close to you. So I have a motto that goes like this: make yourself proud and make your parents proud. You do those two things and you're fucking golden. Then when you're married, you make your wife proud or husband. And if you have kids, then that too. So if I could tell my younger self that, it would definitely be that quote, which I think I've told myself anyway. But I would definitely say to always listen and believe in myself. Like as we went back to the Iona College, I could have been let down by that, a lot of things. I always believed that I was going to make it. I could take the store. I wasn't just going to take the store. I was going to elevate it. To even though how much more can you elevate Casa Della Mozzarella? And that's what I tell myself. Listen to me and have confidence in me and never, ever, ever shadow away from that. That's why I've lived by that motto. It's just different.
It's just different. So as we're going to dig into this cheese and this sandwich, make sure you visit Casa Della Mozzarella in the Bronx. Carlo, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you having us. All right, wait, we're handshaking. Sorry about that. Make sure you shake Eric's hand too.
Thanks, buddy.
Eric, you did a great job. You didn't say one fucking word. But you just sat there. You did a
Just letting you speak your
Guys,
part.
come to Casa Mozzarella, and if you guys need like any houses and shit,
Houses and shit.
Houses and shit.
We deal with shit too, and houses.
well, this market shit. So yeah. Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Appreciate you, man. Make sure
Appreciate
you
you guys.
subscribe to the TVT News podcast. We'll see you next time.